Anyone? What gives that paper the value? The note would have a sentence written that I promise to give the bearer of this note the sum of so and so rupees. So, who gives the authority to that note to say that the bearer of this note will get so much value?
Governor.
Government.
Okay, so it's the government, right? So there's an authority involved in the background. So that paper itself is not worth anything, right? In reality, the paper itself is probably not even worth one paise, right? It's a small paper, right? But that paper has been given the authority that I'll rephrase it.
Can you please repeat it once again?
Okay, so let's say, Sneha, you have 500 rupees, a 500 rupee note, okay? And let's say Deepa ma'am has 1,000 rupees in her bank account, okay? Are both of them same?
No.
No.
No, they are not.
Irrespective of the value, I'm not talking about the real value, but are both same money?
Yes.
Why is it same money?
Even though the values are different, the currency is same.
Okay, the currency is same. Now you have it in your hand. It's a paper that you have it in your hand, right? But Deepa ma'am doesn't have it in her hand. It's in the bank account. All she sees is in a screen saying that your account number, this so and so, has this much amount. Is the money really with her?
Not with her, but the money is her.
No, the money belongs to her. I'm not disputing that. But is it the same as having that cash with you?
No.
No, it's not.
Right. Why? Isn't it a form of virtual currency?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can use it as a form of virtual currency too.
Yep. So it doesn't really matter. Like cryptocurrency is a form of virtual currency, but virtual currencies have been there for so long. We have been having virtual currency in our bank accounts, right? All the amount that you see in your bank statement whenever you log into your mobile banking app and stuff like that, whatever number you see there is just virtual cash. It's not your real cash. The moment you withdraw it from your bank, that's when it becomes your actual cash, right? Everyone following me so far?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now let's move to the next important topic on this. Creation of money. Does anyone know what the bank does with the money that you deposit with the bank? You're all BAF students, and I'm sure you all are pretty much familiar with the concept of credit creation. Can anyone explain it to me?
The money we deposited, they provide others as a loan.
Right. So if you see in the screen, there's a chart, right? The initial deposit of 20,000 rupees, okay, has been lent to so many people that the bank actually created cash of 1 lakh rupees just out of that 20,000 rupees that one person deposited, right? Because no matter what, like they give loan, that loan is also deposited into a bank, then that bank would also give a loan that is also deposited into a bank. Ultimately, your 20,000 rupees that was deposited has been created into 1 lakh rupees, right? would that have happened if you had that 20,000 rupees in your hand? The bank
No.
couldn't have created 1 lakh rupees, right? So you are providing the bank the ability to create more money, right? Following so far? Everyone all good?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. So if you are all familiar with this concept, okay, then you will know that the real money in the system is completely different from the money in circulation, right? The real cash might be just 1 lakh crores, but the amount in circulation could be 10 times or 20 times more than that, right? So that is one of the root cause of inflation everywhere in the world, right? So now the next question is gonna be, I'm not really sure what your age would have been at that time, but anyone has any idea about subprime crisis? Anyone? Even the professors can answer, no worries. I know it's a bit old story. I think I was in college at that time. I used to discuss this with Lata ma'am. Anyone has any idea about the subprime crisis?
No, no, no.
Okay, so the
No.
subprime crisis, yeah, I'll explain it to you. So the subprime crisis is an event that happened in 2008. Okay, although that event got triggered in 2008, the event got itself in preparation for more than at least 2 decades before that, and it was something that started in the US. I'm not going to go into too much technicalities on it because it's an all it's a topic for a day on itself. Loans than they could. Okay, just because of the greed of money, they just wanted to make more money. So what they did is they gave loans to anyone create more money, right? So with that greediness, they just gave loans to anyone, to people who couldn't afford them, and they also gave this condition to them that, okay, you don't have money today, that's okay, your interest will get higher loans than they could, but you can repay the loan after just because of the greed of money. You can start repaying your loan after 3 years. And what happened is what they did. If they gave, I don't have loans to people who couldn't afford them, okay, and you don't need to have. They also gave this condition to them that, okay, you don't have money today, that's okay. So your interest will get high loans, then they could, but you can repay the loan after just because of the greed of the house. You can start repaying this loan after 3 years. That's what. And what happened is what they did. If they gave, I don't have loans to people who couldn't afford them, and you don't need to. They also gave this condition to them that, okay, if you don't have money today, that's okay. Your interest will get high loan, then they could repay their loans, and finally everything came down tumbling. Okay, and ultimately, they did. If brothers, they gave, I don't have an answer. People who couldn't afford them, and Goldman Sachs, Merrill Lynch, Bank of America, all of them were bleeding money. They didn't have any money in their banks at all, because all those money just went into the stocks, into these houses. Everything became losses, and they were all bankrupt. So at that point of time, the US government had to intervene and give them a bailout. And that's why you can see this sort of a Batman symbol called Obama. So it was Barack Obama who bailed them out and gave millions and billions of dollars of bailout, okay, technically taxpayers' money. And, they had to save these banks. And no one really went to jail for all these kind of things that they did. And ultimately, what happened is that people sort of lost trust in the banking system. Okay, why? Because if you see the history of how banks evolved and how governments have evolved, it sort of has been different things. Like, and I'm not really sure how much you've read about things, but during the Great Depression, Roosevelt asked the people to sell their gold. He forced people to sell their gold to the government. Okay, anyone who refused to sell gold to the government, they had to go to jail. They have to go to prison. That was the rule. So ultimately, everyone sold their gold to the government, and based on that gold, they minted and printed money. Okay, now that is the same thing what happened here. During the subprime crisis, the government bailed them out, but again, to pump more money into the system and to keep the economy running, they printed more money. Okay, at any point of time, the government can print more money based on bonds and government securities, right? Everyone following so far? I know I'm a little bit too fast over here. Is everyone good? Comfortable?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So I just want to make sure that everyone's comfortable so that we can take this journey in a more comfortable manner. Cool. So the important question here is 10 rupee note. If you take a 10 rupee note today, okay, and see how much can you buy from that 10 rupee note, then what would you say? Probably a small candy bar, a small chocolate, right?
Yes, sir.
That's all
Yes.
it would fetch. Now, I don't know how it would have been, like probably 10 years ago. What would a 10 rupee note fetch you? Probably two of those candy bars,
Yes.
right? So I remember, I think like about 20 years ago, when I used to go to the shop to buy some chocolates, I think for 10 rupees, I was able to buy those dairy milk ones that cost about 50 or 60 rupees now. Okay, so inflation has pushed the money about 6 to 7 times less than what it actually was worth, right? So if you actually see a 10 rupee note, it may say 10 rupees, but the value of that has changed drastically. Okay, everyone following? So the value has changed primarily because of more and more currency notes being printed, right? So that's when everything sort of changed, and one person named Satoshi Nakamoto, okay, he sort of I don't know how many of you have seen this movie called Wednesday, the common man who wants to take revenge on the terrorists, and he sort of does things. So if you have not, then probably you can go and watch that as well. But so Satoshi Nakamoto, a common man who got fed up of this bureaucracy and the banks probably looting money, creating policies and making stuff just so that they can earn more money, just couldn't bear it. Okay, so what he did is he sort of visualized a different sort of currency. Okay, and he wrote a white paper. That white paper, we generally call it white paper. White paper means it's a code. It's sort of like a new discovery. Okay, so he wrote a code or a mechanism as to how this code and like how this currency would operate, and that is what we call today as bitcoins. Okay, so Bitcoin is the first real currency that is a cryptocurrency. Okay, now why the name cryptocurrency? It's because it's encrypted, right? There's an encryption algorithm that goes into it, and the data inside is encrypted. That's why the term cryptocurrency came in. But so this cryptocurrency and this Bitcoin, so how it worked is that the number of Bitcoins is capped. Okay, the supply is capped to a certain limit. Okay, the problem that he faced with the fiat currency or the current government issued currency is that there's no cap in the supply, right? The government just keeps on issuing currencies and notes as they please. But he sort of said that, okay, that's not going to be the case with Bitcoins. Okay, and the second issue that he wanted to address was that today, if I want to send money to India, okay, I have to go through a banking system. I have to fill in a lot of information as to why I'm sending that information, whom I'm sending that information to, and in all this process, the bank also charges a percentage fee, right? And that percentage fee, along with that, they also take at least 2 days to send that money. With new apps, it's become relatively easy, but we are talking about 10 to 12 years ago when the banks were completely controlling all the things like Western Union and other money transfer apps. So they were earning a huge amount of fees. They were very inefficient. They used to take like 2 to 3 days to transfer the money, and at the same time, the whole process required you to have a bank account. You need to have documentation, and the person you are sending to, they need to have a bank account. They need to have the documentation in place. So Satoshi Nakamoto was like, why all this bureaucracy? We don't really need that. And he sort of saw that the first thing, that the supply needs to be limited. The second thing, the fees on the transaction needs to be very, very minimal, very negligible. That was his intention at first, that he created this currency. Okay, so yeah, everyone following so far? Any questions yet? Okay, all good, everyone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So how this Bitcoin works? Okay. So for that, we will have to go into something called blockchains. Anyone have any idea what is a blockchain? Anyone? Just out of whatever you see on the screen, if you can make something out. What is a blockchain? Anyone?
Like there are some blocks and they are connected with each other.
Pardon me? Hello?
There are
Yes,
some
I
blocks
mean
and people are
blocks and they are
connected.
connected with each other.
Okay, yeah, fairly good answer. So
Something like
go
like
ahead.
computer, like internet through which people are connected. Similar like that.
Right. So blockchain is a technology where a lot of computers are connected together, right? So there is no centralized source. There is no one place where all the data gets gathered. There is decentralization, okay, which means that your computer, my computer can have some blockchain code and it can just keep check of all the records, okay? So how blockchain works is that the networks are constantly connected, okay? Any information that is sent on the blockchain is sent not to one specific person, but it is sent to the whole network, okay? So let's say if I am sending 100 rupees to let's say Deepa ma'am, okay? So that 100 rupees in today's life, okay, if I have to send 100 rupees in through the bank, how it happens is, so I go to my account, I enter in the information and I send that amount, right? So I'm actually telling my bank that you need to send this much amount to Deepa ma'am's bank account. Now, what the bank does is it verifies the account information of Deepa ma'am, then it sends the amount to Deepa ma'am's bank, right? And then from the bank, she can withdraw that amount, right? But in blockchain, it's not like that, okay? In the traditional system, we had the centralized place, right? There's one bank, I have one bank, and Deepa ma'am has one bank, so that bank holds all the information. But in blockchain, that's not the case. I want to send money to Deepa ma'am. I have wallet, right? Cryptocurrencies are generally stored in wallets, and I just send it from my wallet. That information goes to the blockchain network, okay? Every single computer that is connected to the blockchain network will receive that information, okay? And every network will check that, okay, this person, let's say Roger, is sending money to Deepa ma'am. Whether Roger has that kind of money, whether he has the money that he is sending, all the nodes will confirm that yes, he has that kind of money. And then it will authorize the transaction, and instantly Deepa ma'am will have the amount that I send in her wallet. So that is the concept of blockchain. Everyone good? Any questions? Okay, cool. So now that we have blockchain down, so this is the extended explanation of blockchain, which is a distributed ledger technology, which is so it's the same thing basically. Every transaction, okay, it's not just my transaction, it's every single transaction that is happening on that blockchain is stored in these ledgers, okay? Every transaction that's ever happening is always stored in these distributed ledgers, and these distributed ledgers are with all the nodes that is connected on the network, okay? So the properties of a distributed ledger, it has to be programmable, secure, anonymous, unanimous, time-stamped, immutable, distributed. So all these are just fancy words to say that it has to be just accessible by everyone in the node and transparent, okay? Everyone, it's a public ledger. I can just go in and see what the transaction has happened, okay? But I will never get to know who sent that money and to whom, because everything is encoded in such a way that no one's identity is revealed, okay? Everyone following so far?
Yes, sir.
All good? Any questions? Feel free to ask any questions. Now we are taking these, cryptocurrencies up a notch. Okay, so first of all, yeah, I'll spend some more time explaining this part, because it's a little bit of a lengthy subject over here. So we all know this first thing, right? Which is the Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is the first cryptocurrency that ever occurred, and over the period of time, other cryptocurrencies have came in. So what can, like, everyone knows all these. Anyone can you explain any one of these cryptocurrencies? Does anyone know anything more than Bitcoin and the other cryptocurrencies, and what they mean to do? Anyone? Nope. Okay. So the first thing that you need to know is that I spoke about blockchain, right? So each cryptocurrencies have their own blockchain network. Okay? Each currency has its own blockchain network. But not everything you see here are cryptocurrencies. Some of them are only tokens. So what are tokens? Okay, I know we are getting a little bit more technical here, but bear with me. It's not really as difficult as it seems. So crypto tokens are basically, you can say currencies, but it's more like a token which is based off another cryptocurrency network or blockchain. Okay, let's say, I don't see any other blockchains. Yeah, there are different crypto tokens. So let's say Link is based out of the Ethereum blockchain network. So there are few currencies which have their own blockchain network. Okay, and there are miners, there are people working on those network to keep that network running and keep that network up to date. One of the most popular blockchain network is Ethereum. Okay, and Ethereum has exploded in value exponentially. If you've seen recently, it is, I think, about $4,000 or $3,000, and yeah, blockchain has already exploded to a different level now. But yeah, in a lot of ways, Bitcoin is not as efficient as Ethereum. That's why Ethereum is being much more popular. And Ethereum actually supports a lot of different technologies. So a lot of different tokens are on the Ethereum network. Okay. So now I have a question for you all. Understanding all these things, does any one of you think that you can start your own cryptocurrency?
Yes, we can.
Okay. And how will you do that? Go. Someone gave an answer that yes, you can.
I don't know, sir, right now, but I know we can create our own.
Okay. Yeah, you can. Very true. Everyone, you can create your own cryptocurrency. The only thing is that the cryptocurrency, whatever you create, either a cryptocurrency or if you want to create a crypto token, okay, it's just that it has to be acceptable, right? Like people trading. Now, let's say that Ratnam College students create a different cryptocurrency of their own, okay? Now, where will it be useful, right? Let's say that your canteen, right? I don't know. It's been almost 2 years that people haven't been to college, and I'm not really sure how familiar you're with the canteen. But let's say your canteen accepts cryptocurrency payments. Okay, let's say you create Ratnam coin, right? And you go to the canteen and say, okay, I'll pay you in Ratnam coin, and the canteen fellow is like, okay, I'm good with that. I can use Ratnam coins. So let's say you create a crypto token based out of the Ethereum net platform, right? And you're utilizing it. You're like, okay, this project is going good. Like, people are really using Ratnam coin. Everyone in the campus, it's like it's really exploding. People are paying fines with Ratnam coins, and the professors are like, okay, it's fine. Yeah, you can pay with Ratnam coin. We are good with that. And after a point of time, it sort of becomes like Ratnam coin is exploding. Everyone is talking about Ratnam coin. It's becoming a huge success. And then you're planning that, okay, let's pull in all the alumni together. Let's ask alumni and to get in and ask them if they would also be interested in working with Ratnam coins. And you're like, and you're building the platform, you're bringing the alumni, and alumni are like, okay, yeah, we will also be interested in Ratnam coin. So at this point, you are at the juncture where you say, okay, the platform is becoming big enough, and we have our own agenda, why we have this coin and stuff like that. The agenda is useful, and people are really finding big utility based out of this token. Let's make this token into a coin itself, right? So at that point, you sort of, so the token cannot be just converted into a coin, but you can create a different coin and sort of exchange it for the tokens. Okay, so at that point, let's say you create your own blockchain network, right? The blockchain network is created. Now there are different ways blockchain networks are created. There are different engineering stuff involved in the background, but yeah, you can create your own blockchain network, and then you have all the currencies available, and everyone, let's say the alumni, everyone is trading on it, everyone is using it for payments and stuff like that. So yeah, that is how that is sort of like a history as to how a token gets created, how the token gets converted into a coin and stuff like that. Right? Any questions on that? I try to make it as simple as possible. Any
No,
questions?
sir. No, sir.
Okay. So if you see here, there are different types of cryptocurrencies. You see, there's something called fiat collateralized securities. So these are the cryptocurrencies that are pegged to the US dollar. So one US dollar will be one currency, right? One cryptocurrency. Now, it's like I don't want to go too much in depth, but to give you a basic background of the requirement for, or the value that these sort of currencies would give, because a lot of people might have this question as to, okay, if I want US dollars, I would just buy US dollars. Why do I need a cryptocurrency that is pegged to the US dollar and having the same value as a US dollar, right? Okay, there's a good reason for it. So let's say I buy Bitcoins, okay? I'm buying Bitcoins when it was, let's say, $17,000, right? And suddenly it exploded and it went to $70,000, right? At $70,000, I'm like, okay, it's 70,000. Should I hold or should I sell? Okay, let's say I decided to sell 50% of my holdings, and now I sold them, but the government is gonna crack on me and gonna say, Mr. Roger, you have made a significant amount of gain on that cryptocurrencies. You need to pay tax on that, my man. And that's when I'm like, oh, geez, I earned so much profit and I have to give that to the government. That's when I would say, why do I need to give it to the government? Is there a way that I can avoid those taxes? Yeah. So that's where these currencies come in. A lot profits, what they do is they just exchange this bitcoins to a US dollar pegged currency, right? So it's sort of a safety mechanism. Whatever profit you made in the bitcoins, you convert it to a US pegged currency, so the value remains the same. And let's say bitcoins drop from 70,000 back to 50,000. At that time, you think, okay, now it might explode again, so I want to invest in bitcoins again. So you can just convert these US dollar pegged cryptos into bitcoins. Okay, all good? Any questions so far?
No, sir.
Okay, good. Now, going a bit further, we have another topic called smart contracts. I know that all the topics that I'm talking are sort of not really linked, but I'll explain everything at the end and sort of link it up in such a way that it becomes more more understandable. So anyone has any idea about what is a smart contract? Anyone? No? Okay.
No, sir.
Okay. So what is a normal contract? A normal contract is two people coming together, having an agreement, having a consideration, right? For a legally binding, thing. That is like that is what is called the contract, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think I studied that in second year. Okay, so what is a smart contract? Now, a smart contract is something where you have a contract, okay, but there are no middlemen. In order to have a contract, you will have to go to the lawyer, you'll have to pay some registration fee, you'll have to pay stamp duty and stuff like that. The smart contract, nothing like that. All those bureaucracy, all those amount of money that you want to pay, you have to pay, goes away, and you just have a smart contract. Okay, now what does the smart contract do? Okay, the smart contract is sort of a intelligent structure or a code. Everything is basically a code. Everything is a computer program, right? So like like the example given here. Let's say you want an insurance. Okay, let's say your flight is scheduled for 5 a.m. tomorrow, and you want to take an insurance because let's say you're going to watch a concert, let's say, and you want to ensure that you reach the concert on time. And if you're not gonna reach the concert of time, then there's no point in you going. All the money that you're investing to go to the concert, the cost of the ticket of the concert, the cost of the airfare and everything just goes to waste, right? So in order to insulate yourself from that loss, you take a insurance that if the flight is delayed and if you are not able to get on the flight on time, then you take an insurance that the insurance company would pay you for whatever you lost on the ticket and for the whatever you lost on the concert, right? So this sort of arrangement would be already available in online, or the smart contracts would be just set up, and you can just go, buy the contract, pay your premium via a cryptocurrency, and the contract is set up. Now, let's say the event actually happens. Okay, let's say that your flight didn't take off on time, due to which you missed your concert and you're claiming the insurance amount. Now, in this world, I don't know how many of you have seen the movie The Matrix. Anyone has seen the movie The Matrix? I guess all of you are a much younger lot. Okay. So there's a concept in the matrix called the oracles. So the oracles are the name of people. They are like a bridge between the real world and the virtual world, right? So the oracles are people who would verify that your flight was actually delayed and you actually missed the concert. So how they do that is there would be a portal for them to enter the information, and they would be paid, in the cryptocurrency. A small amount would be paid to them in the cryptocurrency for being the oracle, and based on their confirmation, you would get your payout immediately. No need to submit a claim, no need to really go to any agent or anything. Your insurance is claim is already paid. Without even submitting a claim, you are actually paid, right? Now, how amazing is that? That's the cool concept of smart contracts. Okay, so I'm explaining smart contracts because it's a very integral part of the cryptocurrency network, and how and why the cryptocurrency is exploding much more than what we are looking at, much more than what it was at one point of time. And a lot of people like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, everyone is investing in crypto because of these kind of smart contracts, because it eliminates a lot of manpower. They don't really need to set up their big corporations and stuff. They can just set up these smart contracts online, and you can just buy them whenever you want from your mobile. And that takes us to the whole concept of decentralized finance. Okay, so the smart contract enables a huge chunk of these decentralized finance. Today, if you want to do any traditional banking transaction, you have to go to a bank, let's say depositing your money, or let's say, uh, taking a loan, or you want to send money abroad, you want to do any kind of transactions online or anything, you need an intermediary, right? It could be your bank, it could be your credit card or anything, but you need an intermediary. So decentralized finance, the intermediary is the blockchain network, right? So the smart contracts and we have, I think, AVE is a network that allows you to borrow and lend cryptocurrencies. If you want to, lend out your cryptocurrency, you can basically put it into the pool and you earn interest on the cryptocurrency that you have. That's a platform called AVE. And there is another platform called Uniswap, where you can also put, like, you can invest your cryptocurrency, you can put your money into a pool, and so that pool is basically used for their trading, and they trade, and whatever like commission that is earned on that trades, like, there is a small payout that you would receive from that pool. So there are different things that happens, like there is also like flash loans. There are different kind of things that happens in the decentralized finance network, and all of this is enabled because of cryptocurrency. Okay, now the way I see it, okay, the speculation part and the money and the monetary thing is a different aspect of it. But in reality, if you look at the technology and the way a lot of exchanges are portraying this technology, is that a lot of people, even today in India, Africa, a lot of underdeveloped countries don't really have access to a bank. Okay, a lot of people even in India doesn't really have any access to bank. They keep their money with themselves, right? they don't need a bank. With cryptocurrencies, their mobile or their laptop itself will act as their bank. They can basically do any banking transaction that they want through cryptocurrencies, and that is sort of the thing that all the banking networks, or like all the hype is all about, because of the ability and the potential the cryptocurrency network possesses as of today. And that is sort of hurting the sentiments with the bank, and that is why the banks are sort of pushing to regulate these exchanges, or like the cryptocurrency networks and stuff like that. But the cryptocurrency network, they are like, you want to regulate us, we are not going to care, we are not going to be regulated, because the whole fundamental principle that this currency is based on is only transparency and zero trust. Okay, because today when you go to a bank, you trust that they will be a custodian of your money, right? You trust that they will give your money back. But in India, we have seen that that trust doesn't really work out really well. We have seen it with PMC Bank going bankrupt. We have seen multiple banks that is going bankrupt, and a lot of people lost their money. They never got their money back, right? So that whole concept is one of the things that is fueling this cryptocurrency, that I don't want to, give my money to a custodian, a bank, which I cannot trust, right? Today, we never know. Today, a lot of banks are solvent, but tomorrow anything could go bankrupt. S Bank went bankrupt, right? So that is sort of the whole idea here on decentralized finance. Now, another topic, I don't know. Let me know, guys, if I'm too fast, or there are stuff that you're not understanding or anything, or yeah, any more explanation you need, any questions? Anyone?
No issue, sir. Carry on.
Okay, I'm sort of feeling that I've lost you guys. There's like a little bit of a friction that you probably you're not understanding it as much as I'm trying to make it. Let me know, everyone, if you have any more questions. If you want me to explain in more depth, then let me know. So now we have come to a different topic, that is NFT. Okay, I'm just going through an overview of a lot of topics. I know it's it's a broad perspective, but the problem is the whole cryptocurrency the whole topic has become so huge that each of these topics that I talked about can be a separate lecture for itself. Everything, each of them, I'm just trying to give an overview of all of them, so that is because it makes no sense. Like, yeah, literally, it makes no sense, even to me, even to the experts. Nothing really makes sense to anyone, because people are buying them like crazy. It doesn't have any value, or at least for me, it doesn't have any value. I don't know, the people who are buying it, they might be more educated than me, or have more knowledge or some insights that I don't know. Probably that's why they are buying it. But for me, it doesn't make sense to buy a small pixelated cat for $600,000. This it's not really a painting, guys. This if you see, sold for 69 million. It's small photos of like multiple small photos, all grouped together and made as a whole image. That's sold for 69 million. And that's sold for 69 million because they believe that that's the only thing available. There is no other copy, or there's no other same thing available on the internet. But yeah, you can just make copies of it. I don't really understand why it's such a huge craze. There is a student from Indonesia. He uploaded selfies, 365 selfies of himself each day at the same spot. Okay. And he has made more than $1 million just by uploading those selfies into these NFT tokens. So each NFT token that he upload, like each selfie pic that he uploaded it as a NFT token, and he has made more than $1 million now. I really have no idea why people are buying those, but it seems to have a market. So yeah. So if you have any idea that you can use to create your own NFT token, I encourage you to go out there, explore, find ways that you can upload your own token and make millions, and let me know if you made millions. Because it would be a great thing to know that you made millions because of NFTs. So yeah, that is one of the concept of NFT. And now we come to almost the last segment as to what is the future of crypto, or is crypto the future of money? So I would like to open this out to the floor. I wanted to make this fun. That's why I threw in a little Batman, a little Superman, and the little thinking Iron Man, and Thanos is down there. So I forgot the Squid Games. Cool. So everyone, come on. Let's have a small discussion and tell me, what do you think? What is your understanding? Is crypto the future of money, or what would be the crypto future? Anyone, just share your thoughts.
Sir, recently I have watched our budget, and the government has announced that they will charge 30% tax if you earn through cryptocurrencies. So it
Right.
means that they are regulating it, or means if you are.
So the regulations part of it is a bit tricky. Okay, there are exchanges that comes under the regulated category. There are exchanges that do not fall under the regulated category. There even over here, when I try to invest in crypto, so there are certain exchanges through which I have invested, and those exchanges are regulated by the government. Okay, so when it means regulated, is basically that all the information as to who has bought those currency, who has sold it, all that information is available with the exchange, and they share those information to the government, right? And there are other exchanges which do not do that, like Gemini or Uniswap, or there are different exchanges that are not regulated. Now, the tax part of it that you are talking about, it's like an indirect regulation that they are putting. They are not stopping you from investing in crypto. They are just saying that, okay, if you earn money from crypto, we need to take a cut of it. Does that answer your question?
Sir, if they're means regulating indirectly, so means why they should give us assurance, means of about our money, means we are regulating and they will take 30% 30% on our profit. So
Yeah.
means they are directly or indirectly giving recognition to Bitcoin, means not Bitcoin or all cryptocurrencies.
Right. Right.
Yes, sir.
Yep, that's
So
that's true. Uh, See, the thing is, like, when it started, no one knew what it was. Okay, so everyone feared it. Everyone was like, I remember Rakesh Junjunwala saying that no currency that is unregulated can really work. It will drop. It will drop. And when he said it, Bitcoin was $15,000 and it exploded to 70,000. So that is the fear that they have. And now I think everyone has sort of settled down. All the countries, all the governments have settled down and said, okay, cryptocurrency is here to stay. We cannot, stop it. So why not regulate it and get, tax out of it? So yeah, taxation is not a difficult part because any country puts taxation on any income that you earn, be it stocks, be it capital gains on selling your house, or any sort of capital gain, you are taxed. So that's not really a regulation. It's more like a indirect way of ensuring that they also get a cut of what you are earning. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So others, please let me know any questions you have, because I know it has been like a huge session and crypto is a really big C. I have not talked about different kind of things like market makers and the miners and the different kind of graphic cards that you would need to become a miner and stuff like that. I have not really gone into the technical details, but yeah, this itself is a bit heavy topic. So yeah, anyone else have any questions so that I can clarify them and you can also have more information on it.
Sir, one last question.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to know your opinion that what is the future of cryptocurrencies?
Okay.
They will grow, or what will happen
Okay.
in future?
Before. Okay, fine. So I understand that's a very tactical way. What is your name? I'm not able to get your name. I only see
Vivek
FYP.
Kumar Yadav.
Pardon me?
Vivek Kumar Yadav.
Vivek Kumar. Okay, good. You threw my question back at me. I was asking you guys as to what is the future of crypto, and you threw that question back at me. Quite smart. Cool. So yeah, from my perspective, I personally feel that cryptocurrency as a whole is going to stay. Okay, it's not gonna be eradicated soon, because it is giving a lot of value to a lot of people. Okay, doesn't matter what kind of people, but it is giving value to a lot of people, right? Even if it means terrorists, or even if it means drug dealers, it doesn't matter, but it is giving value to a lot of people, right? So the thing that a lot of governments are trying to do now is to sort of make it, if it would be possible, to make it more acceptable. Like, for example, if I want to send some money to anyone, if the government regulates it in such a way that, okay, you can send bitcoins, not a problem, we are okay with that. So that kind of scenario will come in at some point of time. But the problem that I see as of today is that there are a lot of cryptocurrencies, and each cryptocurrency is trying to solve a different problem. Yeah, I didn't even get into the details of some of the things, but if you see, I'll explain you something. Bitcoin takes the longest to process any transaction. Okay, that's like Bitcoin is the slowest blockchain technology available. Okay, and it's the price it's crazy because there is no new bitcoins issued. The mining is very low, and the miners get very small cut. So like bitcoins is the slowest network. Ethereum is probably good. It is a quite fast network. Polkadot is another coin which is an amazingly fast network. It can process more transactions, like 10 times more transactions than what the Visa credit card network processes today. Okay. And there is Solana who's trying, or Cardano who's trying to be a bridge between all these things, or Polkadot is also trying to be a bridge between all the different blockchain networks. So the ultimate problem here is that there is no stability, or there is no standardization as to what a blockchain should look like, or what a standardized cryptocurrency should look like. There is no specifications or characteristics that you can say that, okay, a standard valid cryptocurrency should have all these features. That's not in place today, and there is no such authority who can put that kind of a thing in place. And that's the only reason, or that's the only thing that is stopping all these cryptocurrencies from becoming a more mainstream. But even today, if you see like Bitcoins and Ethereum and Shiba Inu or Dogecoin, everything has like millions and millions of market cap. Millions and millions of market cap means millions of dollars actually in the system. Okay, if you combine them, there will be like trillions of dollars in the system. So when that kind of a money is involved, I don't really see it disappearing soon. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Any more questions?
Sir, may I?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sir, it is safe to invest in cryptocurrency, or it is a risky one to invest?
That would depend on what you consider safe and what you consider risky. Everyone has their own definition of risk. So personally, for me, if I invest probably $500, even if I burn $500 in crypto, it might not be risky for me. The same might not hold true for you. So it's a very personal choice. Now, if you actually talk about risk per se, irrespective of the amount invested, it definitely is risky. You're talking from an investment point of view, okay? So your argument is completely different in a way that, okay, let's say I'm investing, and whether I will get value out of it, right? But the whole reason, if you're trying to invest, okay, I would really advise you to sort of analyze more, understand what each cryptocurrency stands for, what is the reason it was created, and that reason, does it really make sense? Okay, it is more or less like the stock market, right? If you're going into the stock market, you're not going to blindly invest into any company. You definitely want to understand what that company does, what the company stands for, how is its growth, and stuff like that. Crypto is sort of similar thing. You need to understand what each cryptocurrency stands for. Is it really even a cryptocurrency, or is it just a crypto token? What that token means. Like, for example, McDonald's can create their own tokens, right? McDonald's can create tokens saying like, okay, one token means one McDonald's coffee, right? Or 5 tokens means you get a McDonald's Big Mac burger, right? So irrespective of the value, like let's say you hold a McDonald's coffee token today, and you keep it for 5 years. Like today, a McDonald's coffee might be 50 rupees. 5 years down the line, a McDonald's coffee might be 100 rupees. Your token value went up. Your token value doubled, right? So the investment shouldn't be based on the monetary amount or the price fluctuations that you're seeing in the exchanges, but it's more to do with what it represents, what each currency represents, what it means, and why the currency is in circulation and stuff like that. Does that answer your question, Shankar?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now understood.
Right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Any other questions? Okay, I think if we don't have any other questions, then I think we can wrap it up. Everyone, at any point of time, feel free to reach out to me. I haven't really mentioned my email or anything, but yeah, you know my name. It's Roger Wins. You can connect to me on LinkedIn or Facebook, anywhere, and you can ask more questions if you have anything at all. If you want to reach out to me about anything about career or any other suggestions that you want, you can reach out to me. I'll be happy to help. Great. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you, and thank you for being such an amazing audience.
Thank you, Roger, for being here and giving wonderful insights about blockchain, about cryptocurrency, everything. Thank you so much, Roger.
You're welcome. Great.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Wait,
everyone. Take care.
Can we have a vote of thanks formally? Apega. Chalo, it is okay. Chalo, bye bye everyone.